Hi there, it's Oz. Long-term EVE player, passionate station trader, and proud spreadsheet nerd. For the longest time, I've heard people saying things like, you can't make ISK station trading as an alpha, or stay away from JITA, it's way too competitive. Of course, these things aren't true at all. These people are just really bad traders. To prove this, I recently created a Twitch stream where I showed how to take an alpha account from absolute scratch to PLEXing by station trading only in less than a month. And also to 5 billion net worth in less than 2 months, all with far less than an hour played per day on average. This guide outlines step by step how I did this and how anyone can replicate it. Many parts are not only valuable for alphas, but also for omegas trying to get into trading. So here we go. Alright, let's talk character setup. I strongly suggest you create a fresh alpha account and dedicate all 3 character slots to the project. Your biggest bottleneck as an alpha station trader will be the limitation to 17 orders per character, so 3 characters make you vastly more effective. I put these characters into the 3 biggest high-sec trade hubs, JITA, Amar and Do Dixie, so I created 1 Kaldari, 1 Amarian and a Galente character. That just makes travel time a bit shorter in the beginning. If for some reason you only have 1 character slot, put it in JITA, but be prepared to make far less money. In terms of skills, there really isn't much to say because alphas are so limited in what they can train. Here are the 3 things you should do. The first thing is training up negotiation and social in the social section. This will increase the ISK rewards and faction rep gains while you do your career missions, something we will outline in the next chapter. Secondly, go to the trade section and train broker relations, marketing and trade. This will allow you to reduce costs, remotely sell items and increase the number of active orders. Lastly, go to the EVE University website and look up the Magic 14. Start training those. That will prepare you nicely for anything else you want to do with the account besides station trading. And that's it. Now, you can't trade without any capital. You'll want at least 10 million ISK on each character before applying any of the strategies we will discuss today. And while there are a myriad of ways to make that ISK, I'm only covering the one here that I used in my challenge. If you already know how to make ISK in-game or have another account to fund this project, then feel free to skip this chapter. If you're a new player or don't have a way to fund this account, my suggestion would be to run at least 1 set of career missions. They are intended to teach you all the basic functions of the game, so there are other benefits than just making ISK. By a set of career missions, I mean running all missions for all 5 agents, 1 for each career path like security or exploration. This will take you about 2 to 3 hours in total, but also net you a nice 10 to 12 million ISK and some other goodies. If you played the tutorial, you're automatically guided towards your nearest career agent station on a fresh character. If you can't find them, simply open your agency, click on Agents and Missions, select the Career Finder, and then filter by Career Agent type. Now fly to the nearest Career Agent hub, talk to each agent, accept each mission and run them all in parallel. After the first set, you'll get really fast at this, as all career missions are virtually identical across all factions. The more initial capital you have, the quicker you can scale your operations and increase your profits. So if you want, you can run multiple sets of career missions on each character as they are repeatable by simply going to another career mission hub and repeating the process. Now you should have at least 10 million ISK on each account, so let's talk strategy. There are 3 basic strategies that you can choose from when trading in the market. Which one you choose at any given time will depend largely on your available capital, level of understanding of the market, opportunities you find, and your time horizon or patience. Now before you ask, hey Oz, what about cross-regional trading? Yes, you're absolutely right. That can be very lucrative and tons of fun, but I'm excluding it from the guide today because I am defining station trading as exactly that, trading within 1 trade hub on a given character. I will do a separate guide on cross-regional trading in the future if the feedback to this guide is positive and the demand exists. Now, back to our 3 strategies. The first one is margin trading, sometimes also called day trading, where you take advantage of the difference between an item's buy order and sell order price. In a high volume, efficient item market, this margin should be very small, the approximate amount of the market's fees to be exact. because in economic theory, whenever it grows, someone should move in and grab that profit, thus moving the price and margin back towards a virtual equilibrium. In reality though, these margins can sometimes get very large, especially if higher than average quantities of an item are bought and sold in a short amount of time. With a little bit of luck and market knowledge, you can very quickly turn a good profit by taking advantage of this. The second strategy we're going to call short-term investments. Here you buy an item at a price you think, or better yet you know, based on your available data, is low, with the intent to sell it again at a significantly higher price within a few hours or maybe days. This works because there are some items out there that, for various reasons, fluctuate wildly in price even throughout the single day. The margin we talked about in Strategy 1 may not be great at any given time, but because of fluctuations over short periods of time, you can turn a profit. Our third strategy, which is mostly for experienced traders with a lot of capital, we'll call buy and hold or mid to long-term investments. Here we buy an item with the intent of holding it for a long time because we assume to know that it will increase in price in the long run. One example could be seasonal items that rise in price during certain events. A fourth, more advanced strategy is market manipulation through various means, but that is beyond the scope of our basic introduction today, so let's stick to the first three. If you're starting with a fresh alpha account, like I did on this challenge, without any significant capital, strategies 1 and 2 are going to be your focus for now. One last thing, whichever strategy or item you pick, make sure that you never trade in anything that makes you less than 20% profit. As an alpha, your taxes and fees are too high, so you will often be losing money if you do. As a matter of fact, the average margin I traded at in my alpha challenge was 350%. I am not kidding. These items are out there and you can quite easily find them. Just have a look at the items I traded in. They're all public on my stream. Now, this is the most important and exciting part of the guide. Up until now, everything was preparation and theory, but now we're looking to make some actual trades. When selecting the right items to trade in as a fresh alpha trader, there are several factors to consider. First of all, you want an item that is regularly traded in your trade hub of choice. Because if your items aren't moving, you aren't making money. You can tell whether an item is moving by looking at the blue volume bars at the bottom of the market graph. Make sure you also do a quick check in your head whether the total market size of the item is large enough to warrant trading in it. In this example, the daily average is around 100 and the average price is around 500,000 ISK. That means the daily volume of all trades for this item is around 50 million ISK. Even if you manage to pull in a 100% profit margin and manage to make all trades on that day, your maximum profit will be less than 50 million after taxes, probably far less since capturing the entire market is unlikely due to competition. Just keep this stuff in mind when picking items. It's extremely important, I can't stress this enough. If a market is too small, you're wasting your time unless your margins are ridiculously high. Secondly, you'll want an item that is regularly sold to buy orders and bought from sell orders. Because if the item is only ever dumped on the market to buy orders and not bought from sell orders, you won't ever get rid of it, especially not at a profit. Reversely, if an item is only ever sold through sell orders but never immediately to buy orders, you won't be able to buy it at an advantageous price. One example for this is anything that is strictly produced by players. Any manufacturer who is not completely clueless or desperate will never sell any significant amounts to a buy order because to them the 5 or 10% extra margin are often the difference between making and losing money. Margins are mostly tight in production. Now, thankfully, there's a very quick and easy way to tell whether a particular item fulfills this criterion. Just look at the orange dots that represent the median price on any given day. You want them to be well spread out in the gray channel that represents the spread between the highest high price and the lowest low price of the last 5 days. In easier words, the price range in which trades have been happening lately. In the graph that we're looking at here, this is definitely the case. If the dots are all at the very bottom and or the very top of the gray channel, stay away from the item. By the way, those vertical gray lines within the channel tell you the minimum and maximum price for that day. This can be very helpful at times. The third criterion will differ based on the strategy you are employing. If you are short-term investing and hoping for price fluctuations in order to buy low and sell high, then obviously you need exactly that, price volatility. You also want a current price that is below the typical average price of this item. Like in this example for the Arbalest Rapid Heavy Missile Launcher. This could be a very good investment right now if all other criteria check out. Reversely, if the current price is above the typical average, most of the time you want to stay away from this item for the moment. If you're margin or day trading, you obviously need a significant margin. You can easily tell the current margin by simply comparing the lowest sell order with the highest buy order. Make sure you're looking at this in terms of percentage difference, not absolute ISK. In the example we're looking at here, agitated gamma filaments, the difference is about 200,000 ISK, so just under 40% margin. That's not great, but good enough to investigate further. The last dimension that I'm going to ask you to look at is competition. You can easily tell how many people are fighting over a certain market by looking at the expiry dates of the buy orders. If too many people have recently changed their orders, stay away from the item. It's going to be very inefficient to constantly babysit your order in terms of relisting fees, time invested, and opportunity cost of your capital. On my alpha challenge, I mostly stayed away from anything that had more than 5 people actively participating in the market. Again, these items are out there, you will find them, you just have to look. Now, bringing it all together, let's look at the graph for the agitated gamma filaments from the previous example again. We like the constant volume and the fairly wide channel. We also like that the orange dots are well spread out, indicating buy and sell orders are being fulfilled. But the current price is way higher than what this item is usually trading for, so at this moment I would say stay away from it, regardless of what the competitive situation may be. If the last chapter was important, this one's crucial, so make sure you listen closely. There are some basic rules you absolutely have to follow to be successful in the market as a trader. Number 1. As I already mentioned earlier, never trade in anything that will make you less than 20% profit, because after taxes and fees you're likely losing money in that case. Again, my average profit margin during the challenge was 350%, so look for those ridiculous margins, you will find them. Secondly, always create your buy orders in a player-owned station one jump out from the major hub. This is important. For example, for JITA, that would be perimeter. For Amar, it could be a Shab. For Dodixie, it's Botane. This will save you huge amounts of money in brokerage and relisting fees compared to the major hubs and constitutes a major advantage over clueless competitors. You simply put the range of the order to one jump and most products will still be delivered to the hub itself. It's mind-boggling to me how many traders don't do this. Note that your sell orders will still be in the major hub, since most people value convenience over slightly better prices when shopping for items. Thirdly, always make sure you diversify your investments in order to limit your risk and increase your market knowledge that you're gaining. If you're starting out with 10 million per character, I suggest you select 10 items in which to invest 1 million each. After a few days, you can check which items are going well, keep those and replace the rest, all while gradually increasing the value per trade. By the way, if you're not doubling or tripling your money on some of those items, you're doing something wrong. Go back out there and find some new items. While you can do all of this without any additional tools, let me just recommend 3 that will make your life a lot easier. One is Jeev Assets. This is a Java application that will track everything that is trade relevant about your character, from transactions to asset locations and most importantly your net worth. I absolutely love this program. Secondly, evemarketer.com allows you to look up all item orders cross-regionally using an interface that mimics the in-game market UI. This tool lets you quickly check whether a price at a certain station is out of the ordinary, for example. Lastly, but most importantly, in order to track your own investments, I suggest you start building your own spreadsheets to eke out an advantage over other traders. But don't worry if that's not within your current skill set. Feel free to use the template that I've created to get you started. I will link it below. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching this guide all the way to the end. If you have any questions or would like to discuss the EVE markets with me personally, just tune into my stream at Oz_Eve on Twitch. I wish you many profitable trades and fly safe.